everyone, this is Instructor Joy. This will be an answer to a subscriber. Thank you very much for your question. This person was wondering about how to practice Vivaldi A minor concerto, which is one of the popular one, and it's also my personal one. Vivaldi is, in my opinion, one of the best composer for violinists because he wrote a lot of beautiful violin pieces. It sounds well on the violin. For other viewers, please feel free to ask me questions, even if you asked before. You know, million questions or thousands of questions, I always welcome all the questions. And there's no wrong questions. Every questions are interesting, and I would like to know that. So, Vivaldi concerto. In general, Vivaldis have a lot of fast or So this goes on and on like that. As you can see, there's a lot of fast notes. Whether you're playing Vivaldi or other fast passages, when you have this fast, a lot of notes, 16th and such, it would be a good idea for you to use upper half bow. You can use in the lower half if you like, but if you use lower half, this is what happens. Isn't it? And it doesn't resonate as well. So, I'm not saying no, but this would be a better choice, using a little middle or upper half. So it rings every time, yeah? Vivaldi, most of Vivaldi's pieces, they have a lot of repetition and a lot of notes. When you play pieces that have many notes, it is important for you to know and understand the music, what is important and what is not important, so that you know what to emphasize and what to play a little softer. Because if you play everything same way, it can be quite tiresome to the audience and or boring. So that's one thing that you could do. For example, I do. It may sound like they're all same, but I'm playing this one a little more, and this less, this more again, less, more, and then less because it's at the end of the phrase. I'm gonna now play as though all the notes are equally important. So it will sound like this. Okay, just too much. So make sure you know what is important and what is not important. So bring important notes out and less important, little less. So there's a lot of, later on, the similar thing happens. Something like that. Let me see exactly. Let's see. Like that. Same idea. There is a note that's moving. Oh no, I'm sorry, I don't have all my music in front of me. But there's also repeating notes like, yeah, those repeating notes, that is secondary. It plays also important role, but it should stay as a background. That way, the melody that comes a little more out. So by using a little more heavier and longer bow and less, yeah. Like that. That some bows marks suggest they do separate bow, slur, and down again. You can do that, but I find it's easier to do the musical idea when you do just one bow and then slur brings the important note out naturally and less one naturally softer, like this. On and on, yeah? Another one is when there's a lot of repeating notes or repeating passages, try not to do the same every time. Typical Vivaldi has a lot of echo effect, meaning first time loud, forte, and second time piano. That's in general a good idea when you do passages one after the other. But let's say when it's single note repeating, try not to do all the same. You can do maybe once or twice same way if you want to really blast, let's say because it's beginning or because it brings a little tension in as a mood. But other than that, try to do something differently to make it a little more interesting. The one good example would be, there's one so there's a A, yeah, which is also important lines musically, so you want to bring that one out. But instead of playing all the same, instead of playing all equally, same loud, I like to do a little crescendo. Softly, mezzo forte, and forte, and get softer again. So, a little more. So, a little more. Something like that. So, if I play in performance, that way, even though it's just repeating notes, but you still made some interesting musical ideas. That's what makes your performance and your playing much more interesting than just simple playing notes. In my opinion, no matter what piece you're playing, try to see just more than notes and playing just the intonation right. Intonation is an important part, it is true, but musical understanding and expression is as important or even more important in my opinion, because that's what the real magic happens in your performance. I hope this was helpful. Thank you very much for your question, and let me know what your questions are. Please click like and subscribe. Thank you.